I don't know whether it will be gone one day, that I don't have to feel alienated anymore. It happened in high school, if I remember correctly. Whenever that we would have some sort of activity in our school, everyone in my class was so excited and they looked forward to be a part of it. Like some of my friends, they were nice to me and they're like, "Bro, do you want to join us? Like, you can play basketball with us." I was like, "Nah, man, like, it's just not my thing." I was not good at any sports at all, unfortunately. And even if I were to be good, I don't think I would still want to participate in it, since, to be frank, I didn't like the environment and people there much. Don't get me wrong, like, I didn't hate them. It's just that people there, what they really care is not like sportsmanship or making friends or, enhancing their sport ability in some sort. What they want is just dominance and admiration. I know that it is normal, but usually when there is sports, at least in my school, there would always be like a fight behind the scene. Like for example, if you were a football player and then you did it quite well, you excelled, then after that the opposite team, there would be some of them that they will disdain you, and then they would just like talk to you like after that when the game was over. I just didn't want to get into a trouble. Like, why should this even be normalized? You know, that's why I told you that like I don't like my culture at all. I don't know if it is universal. It is quite fucked up, and many men here think it's did sports to attract some girls. I swear to God, it is really like that. Even though maybe like they also enjoy it, but I swear almost like every football player or basketball player in my school back then they got like girls a lot, which is something that I couldn't care less about. I'm more focused on my life. So, and I actually like didn't want to be pressured by my friends. Not like those dudes. Like it would be more like those girls, to be frank. I'm not saying that all girls are like that, but in my class, I know like what they like. Maybe even like other students from other grades. I don't like that feeling. Like if I want to do something, it is gonna be like for fun. I don't want to be pressured or like just to win. Of course, like I like when I win, but this is like for fun. You literally get nothing from that except winning. So I don't see the point. You're not gonna be like an divan athlete or something, or go international from this school sports. Whenever like people talk to each other in my class, I would be the kind of guy who would sit in a corner somewhere and just look at them talking to each other with excitement. I don't know why they enjoyed what they enjoyed. And like even like all of my guy friends, they would talk to each other, have fun, talk about some nonsensical stuff, like typical teenagers. I'm not saying that I'm better or anything. It's just that I didn't find joy in it. So I would just kind of most of the time sitting in silence, looking at them like an observant. And if it is possible, I remember that I would ditch my school as much as possible. During my last year in grade 12, I literally went to school at like noon or 1, 2 p.m. every single day. I swear to God, it is like a real story. It's not that they, like the school allowed me to do that, but I just didn't want to go. That's it. Because I don't feel like I belonged to this place with, like, with these people, even if they were nice to me. But it doesn't matter since I didn't feel it. It's not their fault, by the way. I'm not trying to blame them, but I just don't like the place, don't like the teachers. And yeah, I think this is like one of the most important parts too, that I'm just going to be honest. Many of you might not like it, but it is true that many of teachers in my school, they're not even qualified. Like, literally, I remember that I got, what is that, history class. I swear to you, the teacher didn't say anything from like his own head. What he did is that, like, okay, open the textbook and look at page 168 and then read it. It was just a popcorn reading, and then he would just assign us to do some, there would be some questions at the end of each unit, and then he would just assign us to do that. That's it. He literally didn't know anything, just tell us to, open the textbook and read whatsoever. Like, how is it even possible? Like, you are a teacher and you literally have no idea what is going on, what happened in the past about like our history whatsoever. Like, this drove me insane. That's why I just didn't like it so much. I literally gained nothing during my high school besides alienation and wasting time. Literally, like, in fact, we, at least like in my country, we have to go to school at 7, and the school ends at what, 4 p.m. Bro, that was like 9 hours. Oh my gosh. You literally almost didn't have time left to do anything. I told you it was literally imprisonment. That's why I just didn't like it. Including like people, they just value hierarchy so much that, like, oh, if you got like good grades, then you were a good student. I want to be friends with you and stuff. I don't see the point. The reason why, seriously, if you want to get good grades, you just have to follow the rules. That's it. And memorize it. It's not that difficult beyond your capacity. And all of those, like, many subjects, or like, I would say that more of like the content, it is really useless. I have to say this. It is really useless. Bro, I know that I would never use this shit in my entire life, regardless. I just like, why would I even have to learn this? It wouldn't benefit anything at all in my life. It was so frustrating. That is why I'm telling you that, like, this is the reason why I was alienated, because people, they just value whatever that the authorities told them to. If they told them to, like, oh, do this stretching, I don't know, like, or do this lesson, and then give it to me by tomorrow, then they would just like, including my sister. I don't want to like talk about her that much. Seriously, she was so passionate about academics. I'm not saying that it is inherently bad or detrimental, but since she went to the same high school with me, man, I know the system so well, and it wouldn't benefit her at all. The last time that I went back to my hometown, so, I met my sister, my mom, she literally did her homework every single day when I walked into her room. And she did it for like hours. Like, those homeworks could be done in less than an hour, but she just did it with so much unnecessary effort. I was like, your teachers are not gonna care, but why would you even like try so hard for it? She was like, I love it. But I told her that it is useless. You're not gonna. got an A because of that. Like your teachers, they just don't care if you just submit your homeworks, then that's it. She was like, nah, I just enjoy it. I was like, okay, then fine. I kind of question authorities a lot. Like, I think you can tell. I think it is supposed to be like that. Even like in my university, I had a psychology class last semester, and the teacher, he was Thai, and based on his teaching lessons that I had with him throughout the whole semester, to me, I was like, okay, I know that you got some decent knowledge, but I was surprised when one of my agonists, she told me that like, that like excuse me, he actually got a PhD. I was like, wait a minute, like for real? I couldn't believe it. Like this psychology type teacher, he got PhD. Like, cause to me, he's one of the worst teachers ever. Like he literally had no idea what he talked about. He couldn't get into the detail of it. Like whenever students raised their hands and answered questions from him, he would be an agreeable guy and said like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You are correct. Always." It has never been like, "No, you are wrong," or "Let me clarify." No, he always agrees with students no matter what. I just, bro, what? Like, imagine if society normalizes the loud voice, where cheating, when people do it a lot, like adults do it, teenagers do it, or even like old people that do it, and then it is not deemed as something immoral or something that people should not do anymore. That would be catastrophe. I just like, bro, I really have no words for that. Since this guy really, if you don't understand why, I just didn't like his teaching styles that much. Like he would got like some slides on the projector, right? And then he would just read it, or more precisely, he would paraphrase it. Like, bro, he didn't add anything, details, or example like sometimes, but it's just like easy ones. I could just do the same as him. I don't have to know anything about psychology. Just read or like paraphrase it, or like if I were to be prepared a little bit, then that's it. That's why I just like, man, I just don't like the institution at all. At least like in my country, it sucks. Why would I even have to waste my time to go to school to feel alienated and just waste my time? School really made me realize that people blindly follow the authorities regardless without questioning them. This is what Nietzsche warns us about decadence. People wouldn't question their existing beliefs. Whatever that their parents tell them to believe, then they would just say yes. Or they don't even have to say yes. It is already programmed in their brains that, okay, my parents think this is good. I also think this is good. My friends think this is good. My teacher thinks this is good. Then I think this is good too. Like, people don't question anything anymore. I just refuse to be part of that, even if it means that I have to be miserable, since I can't choose to unlearn what I already knew. It doesn't work like that. I was just born like this, to question things. I think that is a part of being human. We have the ability to rationalize and reason. So why don't use it? So I actually understand why people conform, since they don't want to be left alone and they want to be part of society or the majority, since it is wired in our brain from an ancient era where tribalism matters a lot because you couldn't survive on your own. You needed to rely on a group. But now it's not like that anymore. You don't need to go hunting or sleeping in a cave and just be hyper vigilant, afraid of, whether that would be a huge animal will ambush you. Like it doesn't work like that, but people still cannot escape from that instinct. I just don't blame them though. And I know that a lot of people they consciously chose to conform and pretend to be someone else that they are not to fit in. But I just could not pretend. I just really can't. Even though I know that it would benefit me enormously, but that is just not how I want to live my life. And this is the price that I have to pay to be alienated and an outsider from society. I hope that it would be cured one day, that I would finally feel like I belong somewhere. And that is pretty much overall of this video. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next one.